Thank you everyone for joining me today for the online info session to learn more about the Master of Finance Beijing program. Today, I'm going to spend about 30 minutes to talk about the program basics and also the application process. If you have any questions, please do not hesitate to let me know at the end of this webinar. My name is Renmin Wang. I'm the Assistant Director for the Master of Finance Beijing program. I have been working with many students in the past to help them to learn more about the program and to help them get prepared for their application. So I'm very honored to be here and to spend some time with you and letting you know about the program. The Master of Finance Beijing program is already 10 years. 10 year, we'll witness our 10-year anniversary this year. We do see a growing number of alum, both in China and in Canada. On this slideshow, I have put on a roadmap of one of our recent graduate. This alum started his Master of Finance Beijing program back in 2017 and finished next year. And after he completed his master's degree, he immediately applied for the immigration to Canada. He received his Canadian residency in the following year while he has been working with CIBC, one of the most important banks in Canada. And after that, he has decided that he wants to explore the job market in Asia again. So right now, this alum is back to work at American Express in Hong Kong. What I want to share is that MFIN Beijing alum do see a lot of career opportunities, both in China, mainland China, and in Canada, and then also in any other parts of the world. Okay, as I just mentioned, the program is 10 years this year. So we're having a series of celebration last week, October the 10th. Queen's University has just sent a group of senior management to Shanghai and to Beijing to host a series of celebration events. And our program was very honored. We have the opportunity to be invited to the program to have awarding ceremony to celebrate this achievement over the 10 years. Okay, so the program was first approved by Ministry of Education in China back in 2013. Every year we do see some improvements. Right now we have 2 classes. I'm going to talk more about the classes later on, but right now we do have 2 classes. One is for an English section called the International section, which will be very suitable for those of you who are attending this English webinar today. And then there is also a section called the Executive section, and that section will be delivered in Chinese language and target at seasoned financial veterans. And we have alumni services, we have career services, and all these developments showcase that we have been continue to put our resources into the program. So we're celebrating our 10-year this year. Okay, in short, the program is 1 year long. All the classes will be held over the weekend. You are going to receive a Queen's degree, which I'm going to show you the sample degree later on. All your faculty members will come from both Renmin University and Queen's University. You're going to learn a lot of the financial theories, but also a lot of applicable practices. And with these resources, we hope that you will be find yourself at a very strong position to find your dream job in finance, either in China or in Canada. Okay, so let's take a closer look at the program. As I just mentioned, this is a joint program by 2 top universities. One is the Renmin University in China, and the other one is Queen's University in Canada. You're going to spend 1 year in Beijing, okay, for 1 year in Beijing. And after that, you're going to graduate with your degrees from Queen's University and Renmin University. And why? And this is the example degree I just mentioned. On the left, this is the degree from Queen's University. It shows that you are going to receive a Master of Finance degree. So some of you may heard that we at Smith, there are two Master of Finance degrees. One is in Toronto, the other one is in Beijing. So a lot of the aspects of these two programs are very similar. One major difference is that, of course, the location would be different. And the other one is for the Smith program. For the Smith program, usually the Toronto program, they require some work experience. However, for those of you who does not have any work experience, then MFIN Beijing is open for you guys. On the left, that is the verification report provided by Ministry of Education, which is to show that you have been studying with Master of Finance Beijing for 1 year. And then this is a degree that has been recognized by the Chinese educational authorities. On the other hand, Renmin University, they are going to give you a certificate showing that you have been studying with Renmin University for 1 year. Okay, so this is a 1-year program. The purpose of this program is help you to build some solid knowledge, to build some solid foundation in finance, to help you to find a job in finance. So for example, I do have students who comes from, let's say, a business background or a non-business background, but let's say a mathematics background. And then you wanted to spend 1 year to really delve into the world of finance. So when you're going to the job market on your resume, you'll be very proud to say, oh, through this 1 year of study, I have a very solid knowledge background, academic background in finance. So you're going to start a program in September, and the program will be divided into 2 semesters because you're going to spend your 1 year in Beijing. We're actually following the calendar of the Renmin University. So the first semester starts in September and ends before the Chinese New Year, okay? Before the Chinese winter break. That is the first semester. You're going to learn about 5 courses in the first semester. And the second semester starts after the Chinese New Year and lasts until the summer, let's say late July or early August. That's the second semester. You're going to learn the other 5 courses. And then after the convocation at Queen's University in November, you're going to receive the Queen's degree that I just mentioned. One thing to note is that all these 10 courses will be delivered over the weekend, which means from Monday to Friday, you don't have to take any formal courses. Of course, there will be assignments, there will be teamworks, and on the other hand, you also have your free time to plan for your, let's say, your internship or even your full-time job, or let's say you wanted to participate in some activities, which I'm going to elaborate later on. But again, the flexibility of this schedule, meaning that you're going to have Monday to Friday off, is really beneficial if you wanted to have some work experience, some internship experience before you start your job hunting. Okay, so all the courses are going to be taught one by one. You are going to learn the most fundamental courses in your first semester. It covers, let's say, financial statement analysis, corporate finance, which is, accounting, right? And then you're going to study some economics. You're going to then develop your skills and learn more about specific section of the financial section. For example, equity markets, for example, fixed income, and then in the second semester, you're going to learn more advanced topics. Some of the topics could be financial derivatives, investment banking, alternative investment, portfolio management. So those more advanced topics. These are the 10 courses you're going to study throughout this program. So all the faculty members, as I just mentioned, will come from both Queen's University and Renmin University. For all the Queen's-led courses, the professor will fly to Beijing and teach you there in person. Okay, they're going to teach you in person. We do not have any online courses any longer. And then for all the Renmin faculty members, they're also going to teach you in English, because for the international section that we're talking about right now, it's fully delivered in English. So all the homework, all the course content will still be English. We want our student to take advantage of the joint program to get resources to learn more about both the East, to learn more about both the Chinese and the West and the Canadian financial markets. So that is why our faculty members come from both universities. On the top right corner of this slide, I have put on the QR code. You can feel free to take a screenshot, and then using the QR code, you can visit our program website, and you're going to find more introduction of the faculty members on that page. Okay, so one of the students, one of the questions that many students ask when they start an application is that, how do I know if I'm strong enough to get into the program? How do I know if the program is a good fit for me? Okay, so to answer the question, I would usually say just try to research about the class profile of the program that you're applying for. So for this page, I have put on the class profile of a very typical Master of Finance class of 2022. That is 2 years ago, I believe. Yeah. So you're going to see the class size is 38. So for the international section of the Master of Finance Beijing program, every year we admit no more than 40 students. Okay, usually 20, 30-ish. So no more than 40 students. The average age is 25, which means if you go to the right side of the icon, there is an icon of the suitcase. You're going to see half of the class join a program without any work experience, while half of the class join a program with, let's say, 1 to 3 years work experience. So most of your students, most of the fellow students, they're very junior in terms of their work experience. How hard is it to get in that program? So the pie chart on the bottom left could be a very good indicator. You're going to see that when they start a program, about half of the class has already passed the CFA level 1 exam, or about CFA referred to Chartered Financial Analyst. We're going to talk about this very important exam later on. But again, I wanted to give you some indication about the academic strength of the class overall. Okay, so half of the class has already passed CFA level 1 above, and half of the class are working towards the CFA level 1 designation. So in the past, our recruitment focuses in North America, mostly Canadian. So most of our students graduate from the Canadian university. Let's see, for this class, we have 84% of the students receive the undergraduate degree from the Canadian higher education institution. While we do see there are students from, let's say, USA, from China, in the past, we also have students from other parts of the world. Okay, so after graduation, where our graduates work? Do they stay in China? Do they come back to Canada? I would say both. Both of our students will choose to stay in China. So all these slides show on the top right 3 columns, these are where our graduates work. So right now, I'll be very confident to say if you wanted to find alum from any of the financial industry section or company, will be able to find alum, will be able to tell you something about it. So we do have alum working at different sections, different companies, different in the financial industry in China. And then while at the same time, we do have alum who are returning to Canada, working for banks, for investment companies, for government, for big corporation, for accounting firms, different places, right? So you're going to see the employers for our graduates are really, really diverse, really diverse. Okay, so at Smith School of Business, we're business school, right? So we do have a very strong support for our students for their career development. We have a career advancement center, a career center, and this career center not only locates in Kingston, where Queen's University is located, but also we have a career center in downtown Toronto. It's very close to the Bay Street. So whenever our whenever our student has some questions for looking for a job, wanting to develop their career skills, I will always encourage them to go to our career center. Even for any Beijing student, because you're going to study in China for 1 year, we still encourage you to talk with our career coaches virtually. So we have a career coach, Paulina, and she will be responsible to answer all the questions for Master of Finance students, especially Master of Finance Beijing student. So Paulina will be very happy to schedule online sessions with you. So you're going to not only editing your resume, to do mock interviews, but most importantly, she will be able to help you to explore new opportunities and to understand your strength and think areas that you could improve. So together you're going to work out an action plan, and by following the action plan, by following the schedule that Paulina provided, you're going to be able to start your career search early and then to have a very satisfying result. We also have alum who are very helpful in terms of helping fellow students, helping incoming new students to find jobs. So at Smith, we have an internal website called Smith Connect. So Smith Connect, you can say it's very similar to LinkedIn, but then it's a very internal website. So from Smith Connect, there are job postings, referred by fellow alum. And there are also events, internal events that will be very good for networking. And then there are mentoring opportunities that you can apply for on this website. So once you get into Master of Finance Beijing, you're going to see there is a lot of resources for you to explore about finding jobs in China and in Canada. Okay, so remember I mentioned that from Monday to Friday, there is plenty of time for you to use. One of the popular way our student will choose to, to work on is by joining QUAF, Queen's University Alternative Assets Fund. So the reason I wanted to highlight QUAF is that it gives you some really good project experience that will be good to put on your resume. So when you graduate, on your resume, you're going to have your education section on the top saying, oh, I have received a Master of Finance from the top business school at Canadian University. And this is also a joint program together with Renmin, right? This is your education. And then on your resume, you also have very good internship opportunity, internship experience. And then there is still some space, what to do. And then you can say, I have also participated in this student organization, WAF, and then I have some investment experience through this student organization. So this is Canada's first student-directed portfolio. We do have 3 teams. We have 1 team in Toronto. We have 1 team in Kingston, where Queen's University is. And then we have a Beijing team, and that's fully Master of Finance Beijing students. So you're going to work with a global team, and together you're going to make investment decision. These are good, very good project experience to be put on your resume. Okay. Okay, so again, on this slideshow, I'm just showing the other teams that will be joining QUAP. There are Master of Finance, and then we'll be having MBA student, analytics student, and AI student. So together, this will be also showing your communication skills, your team working skills, good for your resume. On the top right, I have put the QR code for QUAF. If you wanted to know more about this student organization, please feel free to scan the QR code and go to QUAF official website. Okay, so for alum events, we have another student organizations called the Smith Alumni China Chapter. Okay, and SAC, the abbreviation is SAC. We have been working with SAC for a lot of events. So every year in September, we're going to have annual gathering. And then in December, we also have another social events. So in the spring, that be the time for a lot of the sports events or for spring outings, or it could be let's say corporate visit because it gets warm. So there are a lot of events for our students to know more about other alum or other graduates, especially those who are working in finance in China. Okay, so a lot of my students come to me saying, hi, Yumin, I don't know what to do with networking. I have no clue about how to initiate effective networking. Because networking is such a, such a big word. Everyone's kind of intimidated about it. But what I'm saying is that by joining all these alum events organized by SAC or by anything Beijing program, you will get opportunities to meet with people, and naturally you're going to, you're going to know each other, and you're going to hang out with each other. And this is what we call networking, right? So it's not a very serious, how do you say, a process that I have to complete. Networking takes place naturally, okay? In addition to the China chapter, our students have also access to alumni chapter at Smith in other parts of the world. For example, in Canada, we have Toronto chapter. We have, if I remember correctly, Edmonton chapter or Calgary chapter, and then we have the Vancouver chapter. We also have Ottawa chapter. Right. So as I just mentioned, we have our program opening every year in September. This is what has taken place last month in early September. I was actually in Beijing attending these events. We had the grand opening ceremony with our class of 2025 students, those who are graduating 2025, okay? Class of 2025 students. They start in 2024 and they're graduating in 2025. So you're going to see on the photo, we have a lot of students. And after this lady, the first photo, this lady is the dean from the School of Finance at Renmin University. Okay, and she is a very well-known economist in China, Ms. Zhuang Yuming. So we were very honored to have her presenting at our program opening ceremony. And at that night, we also have a social event on Renmin Old Campus. That is the internal venue. It's not even open to the public. So we were very lucky because this is a 10-year of Master of Finance Beijing. We were able to use that old campus venue and then have our social events. So we invited past alum and current students to have a night to mingle with each other, to social with each other. Okay, so on that photo, it looks like, oh, you have a lot of students, and you just mentioned that international section admits no more than 40 students every year. That is correct. Our executive section, which I just mentioned, admits about 80 students every year because the Ministry of Education only approves everything Beijing's to accept 120 students every year for total. So we have 40 students for international section, 80 students for executive section. So for international section, in the past few years, I do hear anecdotes that every year we have students who receive their first internships or even first time full job. from the referral of the executive section. And for executive section student, because they wanted to expand their business, they wanted to have a global perspective. That is why they're also be very willing to help our international section student to transit back to China. So I'm very happy that we have these two sections. Although you guys are going to have your courses separately, the program office together with the Smith China chapter, they're going to organize a lot of networking events to build a connection between these two sections. Okay, so yeah, this is the connection that I'm talking about. I'm going to skip this page because we already covered a lot of it. So because you're going to study on Renmin campus, you're going to receive a student card from Renmin universities. Okay, with this student card, you will have access to a lot of facilities, including their gym, their event venue. So some of the on-campus event, speeches, lectures, you will be very welcome to join that. And you can also use the Renmin's canteen materials. To be honest, if I'm really impressed by the quality and quantity at Renmin's canteen. So if you complete your undergraduate from a Canadian university and you wanted to experience the student life from a top Chinese university, then use this opportunity, explore all the facilities at Renmin University. Okay. Okay, so how to apply for the program? So as a admission staff myself, I usually will categorize admission into two different ways. One way is a lot of university will have an online application portal. You're going to upload your documents one by one. That is one approach. But at Smith School of Business, we're taking a different approach. We still encourage you to start your application online. I've put the QR code on the top right. That is where you can scan and then go to our online application. I wanted to apply online and then filling the form, the web form, giving us some basic information, your personal information. And then we are going to do a preliminary assessment, which means that I'm going to open up your file, read through the information you provided, and then I'm going to send you an email saying, oh, congratulations, I believe you are eligible to move on to the next step application, which means that we think that you're a good fit for the program. And then in that email, I'm going to send you a list of what materials are required for your application, okay? Every students are different. That is why our requirements could be different, by person. I'm going to explain that later on. But this is what happened. I'm going to send you an email with a checklist, and then it's your turn. You are going to complete all these application files, submitting it one by one through email to me. If I see any question, I'm going to correct you immediately. Okay, once we have collected most of the application files, I'm going to schedule an interview between you and a member of the admission committee. So I'm not a member of the admission committee. I'm not someone who is going to interview you, which means that any of the documents, you still have the chance to modify them, to improve them, to correct them, as long as this is before your interview, right? It doesn't, any updates of your application file would not impact your interview, would not impact your admission decision, okay? So that is what we call the application process. Throughout this process, if you have any questions, you can always reach out to me by email, or you can say, oh, I wanted to schedule a Zoom call. Yeah, that's perfect. I'll be very happy to answer those questions with you. Okay, so what specific documents are required? So on the top left, on the left panel, you're going to see 3 light blue things. These what you are going to provide in that online application form. We wanted to provide some basic personal information. I will also ask you to provide your English resume, right? English resume, 1 page, 2 page, it doesn't matter. Okay. And then we also request your unofficial transcript, which means that we need you to go to, let's say, your university's website, your registrar's website, download your unofficial transcript. I want you to see your grade. I want you to see the course that have been taken. I want you to see how much credit it bears. And then with this information, I'll be able to conduct a preliminary assessment of your professional background, of your academic background. On the right panel, the dark blue rows. These are the application files we are going in my email, the checklist email. I'm going to ask from you. So TOEFL or IELTS, most our applicants could have this requirement waived. So let's say if you obtain your undergraduate degree from an using English, right? Let's say, oh, I studied for 4 years at U of T, or I studied 4 years at UBC. Of course, this requirement can be waived. However, you have to say, oh, I obtained my undergraduate degree from a French university in Quebec. In that case, we may need you to submit your TOEFL or IELTS, okay? So TOEFL or IELTS, and then the second requirement is GMAT, GRE, and or CFA level 1. So most of you guys will be requested to provide one of the three exams. It could be either GMAT, either GRE, or CFA level 1. For some of you, because let's say we found that your academic background is not strong, in that case, we're going to request the CFA level 1. Okay, we're going to be very specific. We only request the CFA level 1. Or in other cases, let's say you come from a non-business background. You studied chemical engineering in your undergraduate, and you wanted to study finance now. Then you will be requested to pass CFA level 1. Okay, so that is the requirement. It's really by person. Third requirement is 2 online references. You do not have to ask your prof to write a letter, okay? The online reference, I'm going to tell you what to do. Basically, we want you to get the full name and email of your referees. And then I'm going to send them an email asking them to fill in an online form for you. That form, that is what we call the reference. In that form, we have certain areas that we want you to ask your referees to tell us more about you. So it could be, let's say, about your leadership. It could be about, there is some greetings about your leadership. Or it could be a question about, can you tell us more about this candidate's leadership, right? Okay, so anyway, that's the third requirement. And the last one is official transcript. Official transcript, this is something that you need to order from your university. And then your university has to send your official transcript after you graduate, after you obtain your undergraduate degree to Master of Finance Beijing program. So it should arrive in a sealed university envelope, or we also accept official digital transcript. But again, official transcript, that's the very last step of the application. So as I just mentioned, half of our applicants join a program without any work experience. They're fresh graduate, which means that if you have just started your last year at university, now it is the time for you to start the first step, online application. And then I'm going to send you the preliminary assessment result, usually within 3 days, okay, 2 to 3 days. And then you can follow your own schedule, prepare all the documents in winter 2024 or early 2025. And then in spring 2025, maybe we have received most of the documents. We're going to schedule interview for you, and then you're going to receive your admission decisions then. Okay, so that is a perfect timing. Okay, admission requirement. What are the minimum? What's the requirement for GPA? Right? We do have a so-called minimum GPA requirement, 2.7 out of 4. That being said, doesn't mean that anyone below 2.7 we wouldn't consider, because we're going to take into account let's say your cumulative GPA, the GPA that you have accumulated in the past 4 years in your undergraduate study. We also consider your last 2 years of GPA and your major GPA, all the GPA of the courses relevant to finance or mathematics or statistics or business, right? Or economics. So we have a very comprehensive evaluation of your academic background. The average admission GPA for class of 2022, remember the 38, the class profile I just showed you before, the average admission GPA for that is 3.4 out of 4. Okay, CFA level 1 exam. That's another thing why I encourage you to start your application early enough to learn if the program wants to have CFA level 1 from you. CFA level 1 exam, so if you're applying for September 25 class, there are only 2 exams that you can write. One is in November, the other one is next year in February. Okay, so that is the only 2 exams that you can write. While you are going to prepare for your CFA level 1 exam, we also have a lot of learning resources. We have a UWorld Finance CFA program. We're also exploring Kaplan, which is a top service provider. Both UWorld and Kaplan are learning platform that's been approved by the CFA institutions. So these are two very strong and helpful platform for you to prepare for a CFA level 1 exam. Application deadline. So if you are Chinese passport holder, your application deadline could be as late as 2025 in August. August 25, put it there because we need to have some time to review your documents, right? Because the next class starts in September 2025. We wanted to make sure that your application is completed before the program starts. However, if you're not holding Chinese passport, then your application deadline will be 2025 in May because we still need some time to help you to obtain your visa to study in China. Okay, so these are the application deadlines. Scholarships. All the applicants will be considered for the entrance scholarship, which is up to 5,000 Canadian dollars. In addition to that, if you are a Canadian citizen, you may be eligible for the Canada Learning Initiative in China, CLIC. CLIC is the Chinese government scholarship for Canadian citizens. And then the program also provides CFA scholarships, CFA student scholarships. Okay, so I'm very happy that we have some time to go through the program this time. If you wanted to have more in-depth conversation, we also have events. You can scan the QR code on these slides and then join one or more of our upcoming events. So in November 12th, we are going to have an in-person dinner in downtown Toronto. So that is the time that a lot of the Master of Finance Beijing students will come to Canada because our convocation is in November every year. So our graduate students are going to come over to Canada to attend their graduation ceremony. That is why we're hosting this dinner. If you wanted to know more about their learning experience, you are more than welcome to sign a QR code, go to our page, register for this alumni mix and mingle event on November 12th. I believe that's a Tuesday in the evening in downtown Toronto. In addition to that, the program office, me and my colleague, we are going to visit a lot of the universities in the coming weeks. So next week, my colleague, she's going to visit Western University on Tuesday. Next Wednesday, she'll be in Waterloo. On Thursday, I will be visiting McMaster universities. We also have plans to visit other universities, including U of T, York University, and of course, Queen's universities. On this page at the bottom, there are also some links with the recording of our past events. Feel free to go to the page and then watch our recordings. Okay. Right now, we have alumni referral programs. So if you know one or more MV Beijing alum, you are more than to consult about their learning experience, And if you first reach out to Master of Finance Beijing program through the help of alum, let us know because we can then send alum a Lululemon duffel bag as appreciation gift. Okay? Okay, we're also on social media. We are on YouTube, we're on Weibo, we're also on WeChat. So please feel free to follow us on the social media. We're also on 小红书. 小红书, I am the one who's behind this one, the 人大女王金融硕士大小红书. The other 小红书 is managed by my co-worker. However, because of some regulations posed by the platform, sometimes I could not respond to your replies over 小红书. So that is why I will encourage you to go to our WeChat. We do have a WeChat account. You can scan a QR code and then you can add us on WeChat. Our office is in Kingston, which means we are following Canadian Eastern Time. Although there is a time difference, I will try my best to answer your questions over WeChat as soon as I see them. Okay? Okay, any questions? If you have any questions, please feel free to use the Q&A features here, and then post your question in the chat or using the Q&A features. Okay. Okay, it seems like we do not have any further questions. That is perfect. Again, if you have any things that you wanted to ask or you wanted to book a one-on-one appointment with us, talk with us, please feel free to reach out to us either by signing up for one event through our online information page or talk with us over WeChat. Thank you again, everyone, for joining me today for this online information session. I look forward to seeing you very soon in our in-person events very soon. Have a lovely night for those of you who are in China, and have a good rest of the day for those of you who are in Canada.